Joining me today is Kyle Plantz, who is the political reporter for the NH Journal. Kyle, politics, I guess, starts with voting. And in this session, we're having a lot of focus on who can vote, when they can vote.
Yeah.
So, one of the big points is, I think, is Senate Bill 3 that deals with that. So just give us, if you can, a quick overview of what's in Senate Bill 3, and then what are the issues that we're seeing related to that?
Yeah, so definitely. This is a bill created by the Republican Party because they want to tighten voting laws and make sure that people who are voting in New Hampshire are New Hampshire residents. And it's tricky because you are trying to balance this whole institution of voting and what our democracy is built on, while also making sure that everyone has enough access to vote. And the biggest concern people have, and the biggest reason Republicans are pushing for this, is we do offer same-day registration voting for people. And if you are not, if you're showing an ID of out of state, and you're in the middle of moving there or temporary residence here, you have to fill out an affidavit saying that here's my temporary residence and things like that. But there is a lot of concern of just making sure that those people are actually New Hampshire residents. And this also stems from a national argument over Donald Trump's voter fraud claims, and where he has specifically singled out New Hampshire.
The buses of
the buses of Massachusetts people coming in to vote in our election. And
there's been no evidence of that, correct?
Right, no, there has not been any evidence that there's been busloads of people, Massachusetts people coming in to vote. But this is still a rallying cry for a lot of Trump supporters and a lot of Republicans that just want to make sure that, as I said, people who live here vote here. And so really what this bill would do is just kind of make sure that any of those loopholes or for Republicans, make sure that it's just tight enough that we are still allowing people to vote, but that they're only New Hampshire residents.
How does the bill actually work? People can come in, they have to...
Yeah, so you still have to fill out an affidavit if you're not using a New Hampshire state ID, and you'll have to fill that out. And then within 10 or 30 days, depending on your town or city, you'll have to submit proof that this is where your residence is. So whether that's your college residence address or whether that's a bill or different things like that, and you'll have to provide that to your city or town.
So we're on the campus of New England College, and I happen to know that most of the students don't have an address here. I mean, they live in dorms or residence halls, as I think they're referred to. But what they have is a box number. So does that...
Yeah, no, so that's obviously the major concern with Democrats, is that they're saying that this bill is a form of voter suppression, that they're trying to get people who are typically, college students who are typically tend to be more democratic and liberal, and trying to prevent these people from voting in elections so that it can go to the Republican side. But the author of the bill, who is Senator Regina Birdsell, she made sure, she says, this is not trying to prohibit college students from voting. And within the bill there, it lists all the different ways that college students and different people that might have temporary residences but are here for elections can vote. And they, whether that's a piece of mail or different things like that, those are there for them.
So a box address would suffice?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was just curious about...
It is tricky, and it depends on who you talk to, obviously, because this is a very political issue. So, if you talk to Republicans, they say, of course, they're going to be allowed to vote. And Democrats say, no, you're making it really hard for them to vote. So, why is that?
Will this get through the Senate?
So it already went through the Senate,
Okay,
and it passed on party lines.
And it will probably get through the House.
Yeah. So, obviously, the House is always just tricky, as we know from the latest budget debate. But it has to go through the House Election Law Committee first, and then we'll go to the House floor for a vote. But it is increasingly looking like that
Party line vote.
Yeah, because this is something that mainstream Republicans tend to support, but also conservatives who might support Donald Trump too. They tend to rally kind of around this as well. So it'll be interesting. Governor Sununu hasn't necessarily indicated if he will sign something like this because it's still kind of being worked out, and whether or not the language and everything like that. So we'll ultimately see kind of what happens.
So we'll see, and no matter what happens, it'll probably be a rallying cry in the next election.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I bet we'll even feel kind of some reverberations of it in the 2018 midterms.
So thanks so much. When we return, we're going to talk a little bit more about the NH Journal. So please stay with us.